I just got off a call with a client about an hour ago, and this client was not happy with how things were going. And so let me tell you how this all started. So about an hour and a half ago, I was going through our business text messages, and I saw a text from this client saying, hey, something's off. Something's not right. We're just not booking any jobs. Can someone please contact me and so we can figure out what's going on? Now, typically I have one of our account managers handling this, but today's just been a crazy busy day. And so he was doing something else and I was available. So I said, look, I'll check it out. So before I called him, I went into his ad campaigns and I went into his high level account. Now this is the software we give all of our clients to use to track their leads for their automated follow-up and all of that. And what I saw shocked me, because typically when we get a text message like that, it usually indicates something is wrong and maybe there's a problem. Maybe they haven't gotten leads in a day or even 2 days, which is very rare. And so I was shocked when I went to the date range and I sorted by the last 7 days and I saw 74 new contacts. And then I did the last 14 days and I saw 146 new contacts. And so right then I got a lot of relief, because I thought to myself, well, okay, this sounds like it must be some sort of sales follow-up issue. So anyways, I placed the call and we get to talking, and pretty much right away, he admits that, Mark, I don't think this is an issue with you guys. I mean, and I told him, yeah, I don't think it is either. We're getting a ton of leads. Now, obviously, these can be the wrong leads. Are they people not looking for what you offer, where you offer it? But 95% of them were looking for what he offered, where he offered it. And so the problem became obvious, right? He said, I'm just not making many bookings. I actually think he said he hadn't booked anything in 2 weeks. And after talking to him for a minute, he said, well, actually, we've booked a few, but just with as many new contacts, as many new leads as he had gotten in the past 14 days, 146, I would expect at least 30 jobs or so from that. And he said it was nowhere close to that. And so, I asked him, are you following up right away? Are you getting back to people? How are you following up? And he assured me, although I didn't check, and I'm sure he wasn't following up right away with everyone, but he assured me that was the case. And so he was looking for help. Mark, what can you do? Can you help me figure this out? And so I got to thinking and I asked him, well, what do you think the problem is? And he said, I'm not sure. And I said, well, how would you go about trying to figure out what the problem is? What do you think is our best bet to try to solve this? And he said, I'm not sure. And so this kind of surprised me, because really there's no way we can read minds, right? We don't know. Why are people not booking? I have no idea. And the only way to figure this out, and I made a video about something very similar last week where someone, if you haven't watched it, check it out, where someone spent $4,300 in ad spend and only got 7 online bookings. Here's the thing. We can sit here and we can guess all day long about what the issue might be. But here's what I told him to do. I said, look, this is not fun work, and a lot of people don't love calling. It's not a cold call. It's a warm call, right? They inquired about your services and they didn't end up booking, and you're just trying to figure out why. So what I said is, you're going to want to call in the next 3 hours. I told them, I want you to call 20 unconverted leads that you've gotten in the past 2 weeks. I want you to call them and say, hi, customer, this is Mark, just an example, Mark with Mark's Limos. Hey, I'm going back through our unconverted quote requests, and I'm just doing a survey to try to find out from the people that didn't end up booking with us, was it an issue with pricing or was it something else? And just having this conversation, and by the way, you're not going to speak to all 20. You might call 20 people, you might get 4 or 5 on the phone, but that information you're going to get from them is invaluable. And some people might say not interested or hang up. You have to expect that, okay? But what I mentioned to my client was, what do you really spend most of your time doing? And he said, well, to be honest, I drive a lot. And so I tried to paint a picture for him. And so what I said is, in any business, you've got $10 an hour tasks, $100 an hour tasks, $1,000 an hour tasks. And it might not be exactly that amount, but let me give you an example. So for this business, ground transportation, a $25 an hour task is driving, right? And you might say, well, Mark, I make a lot more than $25 an hour when I drive. And sure, maybe you do. But here's the thing. That's what you would pay to get someone to do that job. And so that is how much that job is worth. So whenever you're driving, just remember you're making about $25 an hour because that is, again, what you would pay someone to have them do that job. Now, some of you might be listening to this and saying, Mark, that's not true because I'm really good at building relationships with clients when I'm driving them. And so I will say that for certain clients, it does make sense for the owner to drive them. My client last week that I was referring to who spent the $4,300 and got the 7 online bookings, he said, I don't drive very often, but for certain clients, I try to drive them all the time and only be their driver because it might be a massive corporate account that pays you $40,000, $50,000 a year. So if that's the case, I completely understand why you drive. But I was letting my client know that you're spending most of your time in low value tasks. The driving, that's a $25 an hour task. Now, responding to leads, following up, that might be a $100 an hour task, might be even a little more than that. Meaning the time you spend following up with your leads, talking to customers on the phone, that's a much more valuable task. And you might say, well, Mark, I can hire someone and pay them, $10, $5, $6 an hour to do that for me. Of course you can. But here's the thing, they're not going to be anywhere near as good as you are. And the beauty about talking to people on the phone, your leads, is that you're constantly testing the market. You're finding out how they are responding. When you give them a price, you find out how they respond. When you say certain things like, hey, with all of our rides, we include a meet and greet, you see how they respond. And over time, sure, I agree. Eventually you want to get out of that role, but you want to be so good at that role that you can train someone to do it just like you did it and convert a very high number of the leads that come in. Are you asking for a round trip with every single person? Are you asking if they need transportation at their destination? These are all things that add a massive amount of value, and the person that's handling the phones for you should be doing them. And if they're not, there's a lot of money being left on the table. And so it's super important that all of you watching this, if you're doing online marketing, even if you're a larger company, you should have 1 or 2 days a month, or even maybe 1 day a week, where a few hours you handle the phones, you respond to the leads, because that's going to give you tremendously valuable information about your offer, which your offer is really your pricing. And the truth is, in this industry, especially if you're sending prices via text, if you're using an online booking tool, your price is actually the most important thing. Now, if you're speaking with someone, that gives you a chance to build a relationship, to build value. And in those cases, people might not be as price sensitive, but if you're just texting them or if you're giving them an online quote, these sorts of things make Black Card very, very competitive. So I said, look, the task of calling all of these unconverted leads and finding out why they did not convert. Was it pricing? Was it you didn't have a good enough online reputation? They couldn't find anything online about you? Was it something else? If you handle that task, that's probably a $500 to $1,000 an hour task, because that's going to give you information so that you can adjust your sales pitch, so that maybe you have to adjust your pricing, adjust how you build value before you give the price. And so I really hope he does it. And in another hour or two, I'm supposed to connect with him and find out if he has done that. But for many of you watching this, that sounds scary, right? Because in a way, it almost sounds like, Mark, I'm not, a used car salesman. I'm not a telemarketer. That's not what I do. You're not trying to sell them anything. And you'll be surprised. Many, many people actually want to tell you and help you out, especially if you say, hey, I'm a newer business. I'm still trying to figure things out. When you come at someone like that and say, hey, and by the way, this works great for asking for reviews as well. Hey, and it's true for many of you. That's the best thing. Hey, I've got a newer business and I've been getting a lot of requests, but not booking a lot of customers. And I'm really just trying to figure out what we can do better to earn the business of someone like yourself. And when you approach it like that, not only will you get great feedback, but it's very likely you're going to book a few rides. So I really want you guys, any of you watching this that do online marketing, I highly suggest, if you're not converting at least, let's say 3 out of 10, or even if you are converting that many, do this. Call your unconverted leads, make a habit out of it. I would do it once a week or once every 2 weeks. And what you'll find is the information you glean from that will increase your close rate. It could double it, which is a $500 to $1,000 an hour task when you add up all of those increased bookings you're going to be getting. So anyways, guys, I hope this video was valuable. Start calling your unconverted leads, guys. And if you got value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. And leave a comment if you end up doing this. I want to find out how it goes. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week.